Welcome, dear listeners, to another chilling fireside story. Today we delve into one of Japan's most mysterious and haunting unsolved murder cases, the Setagaya family murders. As always, your support means the world to me, so if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, tap the bell icon to stay updated with all my future uploads, and share this video with anyone you know who loves unraveling true crime mysteries. Before we begin, I'd like to warn sensitive viewers. This story contains disturbing content surrounding the brutal murder of an entire family. So if such themes aren't for you, feel free to explore my other stories. But if you're ready to join me on this eerie journey, let's dive in. Let's first take a step back to where this tragedy unfolded. The Setagaya district of Tokyo, Japan. Setagaya is a suburban area filled with peaceful homes, a favorite for families looking to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. Back in the year 2000, the Miyazawa family resided in a quiet corner of this neighborhood. The home was nestled close to a park that had been slowly expanding, forcing several residents to leave the area. By the end of the year, the Miyazawas were one of the few remaining families living there. A somewhat isolated home, near a developing park, which will later become a key factor in the crime. The Miyazawa family consisted of 4 members. Mikio, the father, who was 44 at the time, Yasuko, the mother, aged 41, their daughter, Nina, who was just 8 years old, and their son, Ray, who was 6. They lived a peaceful, typical suburban life. Mikio was known to be a hardworking man, dedicated to his job at a marketing firm, while Yasuko was a doting mother who loved her children dearly. Nina and Ray were bright and playful, often seen enjoying their time in the nearby park. This close-knit family had no known enemies, no reason for conflict. Yet their lives were about to be snuffed out in one of the most gruesome crimes Japan has ever witnessed. It was on New Year's Eve, December 31, 2000, that the Miyazawa family met their tragic end. Yasuko's mother became worried after she was unable to reach her daughter on the phone. By the following day, she went to the family's house only to be met with a horrific sight. All 4 members of the Miyazawa family were found brutally murdered in their home. The killings shocked the entire nation. The family had been violently attacked, and the scene was nothing short of gruesome. Mikio Miyazawa, the father, was discovered at the bottom of the stairs. He had been stabbed multiple times in the head and neck, likely after trying to fend off the attacker. Yasuko, the mother, and their daughter Nina were found upstairs. Both had also been stabbed multiple times, with Yasuko found in the hallway and Nina in her bedroom. Ray, the youngest child, was found strangled in his bed. It appeared that he had been killed while still sleeping, as there were no signs of a struggle. It appeared that the killer had methodically eliminated the entire family over the course of several hours. One of the most unnerving aspects of the Setagaya murders is that the killer did not flee immediately after committing the crime. In fact, the intruder stayed in the Miyazawa home for several hours. Evidence suggests that after the killings, the perpetrator made himself comfortable, rummaging through the family's belongings, using the computer, and even eating food from their fridge. The idea that someone could murder an entire family and then calmly stay inside the house, using their belongings, left a haunting sense of violation. What kind of person could commit such a crime with no sign of remorse or urgency to escape? When investigators arrived, they were met with an overwhelming amount of evidence. Yet none of it would lead to the capture of the killer. Police discovered items left behind by the intruder, including clothing, traces of his DNA, and even fingerprints. This should have made it easier to track down the criminal, but the evidence seemed to lead nowhere. The intruder had entered through a window on the 2nd floor, using the nearby park's fencing as leverage to climb. He had brought his own weapon but also used items from the home to inflict the fatal wounds. His actions suggested a certain level of premeditation, yet the crime scene was chaotic. The DNA evidence found at the scene indicated that the killer was likely of mixed heritage, partly East Asian and partly Southern European. This was a highly unusual detail in a largely homogeneous society like Japan, where mixed-race individuals are rare. Based on the footprints left at the crime scene, the killer was estimated to be around 170 to 180 centimeters tall. approximately 5 feet 7 inches to 5 feet 11 inches, and of average build. The killer wore size 27 centimeters shoes, which is larger than average for a Japanese male. This detail played a crucial role in narrowing down potential suspects. The killer's blood type was identified as A, based on traces found at the scene. This is significant because it could help narrow down the pool of suspects should any potential matches arise. However, blood type alone is not a definitive identifier, especially since it can be common among many individuals. The killer exhibited behaviors typically associated with an intruder who knows the home and its layout well. Evidence suggested that he was not a random burglar but rather someone who had a clear intention when entering the Miyazawa home. He had a methodical approach, making himself at home by rummaging through the family's belongings, suggesting a level of comfort and familiarity with the environment. Several criminologists and psychologists have studied the case, offering insights into the killer's profile based on the available evidence. For example, Dr. Mike Berry, a forensic psychologist, has posited that the killer might be a loner, possibly living nearby, who felt alienated and disconnected from society. This could have contributed to the violent outburst, leading to an intense desire for notoriety or acknowledgement through the heinous act. In the days leading up to the murders, several neighbors reported suspicious activity around the Miyazawa home. One neighbor claimed to have heard loud noises coming from the house the night before the bodies were discovered. Another mentioned seeing an unknown man loitering near the house, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary at the time. While not a human witness, the Miyazawa family's dog was present during the attack. The dog was found unharmed and had not barked or reacted to the presence of the intruder. This behavior has led to speculation about the killer's familiarity with the family or the home, suggesting he may have been someone the dog recognized. Despite the limited eyewitness accounts, the few that exist provide some insight into the neighborhood dynamics and atmosphere surrounding the time of the Setagaya murders. The lack of definitive eyewitness testimony emphasizes the challenges law enforcement faced in their investigation and highlights the chilling reality of this unsolved case. If any new developments or witnesses come forward in the future, they could potentially alter the course of the investigation. One of the theories surrounding the case points to the nearby park as a potential factor in the crime. The Miyazawa home was located near a park that had been undergoing renovations. The park's expansion had displaced several families, making the area feel more isolated. This may have made the Miyazawa home an easy target for the perpetrator, who could have scouted the location beforehand. There's also speculation that the killer could have been a transient individual who had taken refuge in the park. With fewer neighbors around to notice anything suspicious, the intruder could have spent days watching the Miyazawa home, waiting for the right moment to strike. The Setagaya family murders quickly became national news, capturing the attention of Japan and the world. The brutality of the crime and the unsettling details surrounding it sparked widespread fear and paranoia. How could such a violent crime occur in a relatively safe suburban neighborhood? And why, despite the abundance of evidence, had the killer not been caught? News outlets ran continuous coverage of the case, interviewing neighbors, investigating potential leads, and analyzing every new detail that emerged. Yet, despite the extensive media attention, no breakthrough came. As with many unsolved cases, a variety of theories began to circulate about who the killer might be. Some speculated that it could have been a professional hitman, given the calculated way the family was eliminated. Others suggested that the killer might have had personal reasons for targeting the Miyazawa family, though no clear motive was ever established. There was even a theory that the killer could have been a foreign national, given the DNA evidence suggesting mixed heritage. However, this theory also led nowhere, as the killer's identity remained a mystery. Yasuko's mother, who had discovered the bodies, was left devastated. The surviving family members have continued to push for answers, seeking justice for their loved ones. They've worked tirelessly with authorities and the media to keep the case in the public eye, hoping that one day, someone will come forward with the key to solving this tragic mystery. The Setagaya family murders shook Japan to its core. Violent crime is relatively rare in the country, especially in quiet suburban neighborhoods like Setagaya. The brutality of the murders, combined with the unsettling fact that the killer has never been caught, left a lasting impact on the national psyche. The case remains one of Japan's most infamous unsolved mysteries, often cited in discussions about the limits of forensic science and the challenges of solving cold cases. The Setagaya family murders is a case that continues to haunt Japan and the global true crime community. It's a chilling reminder that even in a world filled with advanced technology and forensic science, some mysteries remain unsolved. The family's story deserves to be told, and their memory must be honored. As always, thank you for joining me for another chilling story. I hope you found it as captivating as I did. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share it with others who love unraveling unsolved mysteries. Your support helps keep these stories alive and fuels my mission to bring you more in the future. And as always, stay safe, stay warm, and remember, the truth is often more chilling than fiction.